5-second board is shown to the drivers now. And so we are going to go racing here at Croft in the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup. The lights go out and away they go, and it looked like a pretty good start from Ben Shaw on pole position. A better start certainly than Jordan Johnson, who moves across to the right-hand side of the track, tries to cover the line from Ian Tomlinson there, but I'm not sure he's necessarily succeeded. I think Tomlinson might have gone through, yes he has, to second place there, and it looks like it's Oak Richardson there in fourth. There's somebody off, that's Stephen Craggs, number 47, who started in 8th place. He won't be 8th anymore because he's going to be several places down the order as he tries to recover onto the circuit, and that's Jordan Johnson. Well, that's certainly exceeding track limits on the opening lap at the chicane. He's cut the chicane completely, and that's helped give Ben Shaw a big lead.
And Oak Richardson really fancied his run into the chicane, fancies a run here into Tower Bend as well, but has to settle for 4th place still on the inside. There was Matthew Hallam in the red number 44 car that was making its way into 5th place going into Tower Bend. But yes, Ben Short establishing an early lead. Ian Tomlinson up into 2nd position. We've got a spinner. It's the number 68 car, Stephen Robinson, down at the Jim Clark S's.
So that's Robinson from right in the middle of the field as we're watching the 32 car go through. That's Jake Micklewright. I think he was one of the drivers to have issues in qualifying. He drops a wheel over the dirt there on the exit of Sunny. The leaders are arriving back into the complex already to complete their first lap of this 2.1 mile Croft circuit. It is Ben Short leading from Ian Tomlinson second and Jordan Johnson in third as they come up to the line, but it looks like everyone pretty much, despite one or two squirrely moments, safely through to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of hip and shoulder at Clairvaux on the opening lap, wasn't there? But Ben Short leads over the line by 1 second to Ian Tomlinson in the red number 9 machine. Jordan Johnson has recovered some form a little bit there and still holding 3rd place ahead of Oak Richardson. And then there is a bit of a gap back to Matthew Hallam in 5th position. Who's establishing a bit of a gap over Pennyfather Neil in 6th.
So short it is at the end of lap 1, that led by just over 1 second from Tomlinson. There's about another 8/10 back to Jordan Johnson in 3rd place. He got Richardson for very close company as well, but there was a gap back then to Hallam in 5th place, the former Castle Coombe Formula Ford 1600 racer. As we're watching the 128 car, that's Sam Gorman. He's in 11th place, just behind Matthew Short, Ben's father. At the moment from down there in Wiltshire. They're heading through the Jim Clark S's spectacular part of the circuit. It's left and right, flat out flick, and then they'll head off up to the right-hand kink at Barcroft and then into the double right-hander at Sunny. And they accelerate their way out of that corner down towards the complex.
Might explain why I never had much success on the sim in this circuit, because I was never flat out through the Jim Clark S's, I'll tell you that much. Big battle going on here with Michael Pearce in 7th position, fending off quite a number of cars through the complex, doing a good job of holding that position for now, but it is the 21 machine there of Matthew Pennyfather Neil, who has actually just dropped to 7th place. Sorry, so it was Michael Pearce moving up to 6th place ahead of Pennyfather Neil.
End of lap 2 then. Ben Short leading by 1.5 seconds now as we've got this battle going on between David Williams, who was on the 2nd row of the grid, 3rd row of the grid, I beg your pardon, and the number 32 car of Jake Micklewright. So they started on the 3rd and the 6th row, but they've got themselves together somehow. There's Matthew Short, and just behind him is Stephen Craggs. They're in 11th and 12th positions. So they make their way out of the chicane. On towards Tower they go. Here's the number 70 car, that's Michael Pearce in 6th position at the moment, the green car. And a change there, Stephen Craggs has got himself up ahead of Matthew Short at Tower and up into 11th.
It's a great little string of cars here, these Mark 1 MX5s. Very rarely disappoint in terms of their wheel-to-wheel action, especially on a circuit such as this. And Now, looking here, I think this might have been one of the areas where there was a lot of track limits, because there is an awful lot of runoff from the exit of the Jim Clark S's there. But yeah, Michael Pearce, having just taken that 6th place away from Pennyfather Neil, trying to stretch his legs in a little bit of clear air, which he has 2.7 seconds or so of. Intermittent transponder for Shea Pearce, unfortunately, so she's flickering up and down the timing order. That might be why, but showing her in 14th position at the moment, or at least last time they crossed the timing line anyway. Unsurprisingly, Ben Short doing the fastest lap of the race, 1:40.815. A couple of laps ago, his advantage 2.2 seconds.
About 1.4 seconds off his lap record, and a bit slower than he went in qualifying this morning as well. We'll continue to watch the battles a bit further back, because frankly Ben Short driving around on his head isn't very interesting. So we're looking at this battle a bit further back. So this is for 8th and 9th, David Williams and Jake Micklewright, Sam Gormer in there as well. A bit further up there you've got Ian Tomlinson in 2nd, so he's still ahead of Jordan Johnson, which is interesting. Last year's champion still not been able to find a way through. He, on the last lap, did narrow the gap by a couple of tenths, and I think he kind of took Richardson with him as well. So Tomlinson will have to soak up the pressure here, but we've seen over past seasons that he's quite good at defending when he has to be, and this is going to allow Ben Short, I think, to continue to build the lead, but Jordan Johnson is now closer.
Bit of opposite lock in the middle of sunny in and sunny out, and that's just bringing Jordan Johnson closer to the back bumper of Ian Tomlinson. Hasn't won a race since 2019 by my estimation in this championship, and the frustrating thing is if we, in the non-Ben Short category, he's sort of leading if you think of it in that sense. But yeah, Jordan Johnson trying a different line. Now we've got a big bit of detritus in the middle of the pit straight there. It's like a whole front or rear end of a car that seems to have come off. It is off the racing line, but rightly so, the yellow flag's being waved down the straight, and Jordan Johnson unable to do anything about Ian Tomlinson in that battle for 2nd place as a result.
Absolutely right. So about halfway through this race now in terms of time, about 7.5 minutes are left to go, and this nice little battle for 2nd place opening up, but they've really allowed Ben Short to pull out another second or so on that lap. It's now 3.3 seconds ago. Good illustration of it there for those of you watching on the live stream, as Johnson tries to get to the outside of Ian Tomlinson at Tower Corner. Couldn't make it work, and Johnson is going to be right glued to the back end of Tomlinson's car. Is he going to be able to do that all the way through the Jim Clark S's, left and right? Yeah, he is more or less able to do that, and Richardson just about 0.8 of a second behind them, probably just sitting there waiting for something to happen, really, because there's a chance here that they could fall over one another, these two battling for 2nd and 3rd. Absolutely,
and we think back to what happened in last year's race. It was all drama in the complex on the final lap of the race, and I'm sure Oak Richardson and Jordan Johnson remember it very well indeed. I'm sure Ben Hansey doesn't quite remember it to the same affection. Of course, Ben Hansey, as you mentioned, taking on a Rollers Championship coordinator from Alan Robson, and that's new for this year, the Alan Robson Trophy, which is going to go to the driver at the end of the year, the highest scoring driver who hadn't scored a podium at the start of the year. And now we've got side by side for 2nd place. Jordan Johnson, that grey number 1 car on the outside line at Clairvaux. Now it's very difficult to try and make an outside line work there, and indeed it doesn't for Jordan Johnson. He has to settle back in behind the red number 9 of Ian Tomlinson. Now he had a very good toe down the back straight last time, so exiting the chicane, let's see what kind of a run Jordan Johnson can get this time around. They are losing more and more time to race leader Ben Short, who's now 2.9 seconds to the good out in front. Johnson again to the outside line. Tomlinson placing his car in all the right spots. Johnson not fancying a run all the way around the outside, gets a beautiful undercut, and I think has drawn level, but again will be on the outside line by the time they get to the Jim Clark S's, but he's trying to make that work anyway, and the inside line does come to him eventually. Beautiful bit of racecraft there from Jordan Johnson. And Oak Richardson fancies a bit of it as well, using his British Drift Championship experience there was Oak Richardson in 4th place. Incredible stuff, and Jordan Johnson through into 2nd place.
Well, that was quite a moment, wasn't it? Could that be the aimshop.com moment of the season? A nice move that from number 1, Jordan Johnson, to get through to 2nd, and Oak Richardson very much getting involved in that as well. I thought he might be going to 3rd at one point, but got a little bit too sideways. Anyway, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, this is where it's at. Ben Short. His gap did actually come down on the previous lap, down to 2.9 seconds, but I wonder if there's a little bit of play acting going on there. He comes through to complete another lap, and it's another lap in the 42s, about 1.8 seconds off his best, but because those 3 really were falling over one another, the gap has gone out to 4.3 seconds this time. Jordan Johnson 2nd in number 1, Ian Tomlinson 3rd, number 9, Oak Richardson number 17 4th, Matt Hallam 44 still 5th, and it's Michael Pearce 4th of Shea still 6th in number 70 as we go into the last 4.25 minutes of this race. And yeah, we're going to see any more change to this battle for 2nd? I'm rather thinking not, because it looks like Johnson is just pulling away a few car lengths now.
Yeah, I wonder if Oak Richardson can get onto the back of it again. I mean, he was right with them when the change of position happened, but he's fallen back about 0.6 of a second in the one lap since the move happened. So it does seem like Ian Tomlinson might just have Oak Richardson covered in terms of raw pace. So that could be the podium secured. But as always, you never say never. Jordan Johnson not pulling away at a huge rate of knots, and I'm sure Tomlinson will fancy a chance at 2nd place, maybe in the very closing stages of the race. We've got good battles happening further back by the looks of it.
Yeah, all the way down the field as ever in MX5 racing. Here's the number 22 car, so that's Chief, isn't it? That's Adrian Johnson, Jordan's father. He has a bit of a moment there, and he is running in 13th position at the moment, just ahead of Shea Pearce in 16. And then it's the 95 car of Andy Bailey of Mint Alloys, whose branding you can see on screen as well, supporting the stream, supporting the championship as well. Andy Bailey returning to MX5 racing at the end of last season, having done all kinds of different things, both within the 750 Motor Club and outside of it over the 22 years he's been racing. He started out in Caterham Academy. But we've got 2.75 minutes left to go here, and still scores to be settled down the order. But for 2nd place, Johnson now 0.6 clear of Tomlinson, and there's about 0.9 between Tomlinson and Richardson.
Yeah, so we've got the triple one here of James Winstanley, 750 Motor Club's own there. That was challenging the number 95 machine into Clairvaux. Good
drive that from Winstanley to get up from the back of the grid to 16th.
Wonderful stuff. I'm trying to remember the last time he did an outing. I remember, didn't he do Club Enduro a couple of years ago? He's
done various different one-off appearances in various championships, including MX5. I think he's done MR2s as well at one point, and historic 750 Formula as well. Just does occasional races when he's released from the confines of race admin and the 750 Motor Club office.
That's quite. Now, the red, is that the triple one again?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, James Winstanley there. I thought for a second almost tried to recreate Jordan Johnson's outside pass at the Jim Clark S's. Oh, but a big moment there for Bailey, and Winstanley on the inside of Sonny out, not quite able to take away the position. That's 15th and 16th being disputed into the complex, and of course that's bringing a few of the other drivers into play as well. The chasing car behind them is the 46 of Nicola Favo, and is also bringing the number 99 of Martin Vernon as well, which is the other car that started on the back row of the grid, wasn't it? So they've both made great progress.
Have indeed. So we're into the last lap of the race now, I think, for Ben Short, because he's completed 8 laps of this race. There he is, out in front by just under 3 seconds from Johnson, and this race has settled down now, hasn't it, for the first 4 places. Johnson second, Tomlinson third, Richardson fourth, and they're all a long way clear of Matthew Hallam. Matt Hallam in 5th position, number 44. See if he can hold on to that spot there. He's got Michael Pearce climbing all over the back of him now, increasingly, as we go into this last lap, and it looks like Stephen Craggs is just about clinging on to the last place in the top 10. Oh, not for much longer, I don't think he is, because 3 on the inside has gone the 128 car of Samuel Gorman at Tower.
A little bit wide there for Craggs, unfortunately. So that's an Air Hill Rue, I'm sure. We've got the 44 here. Now looking on the inside, that's Matthew Hallam, who's taken back 4th place from Pearce. And Pearce is going to get squeezed out here because Williams coming through on the inside as well. But here comes Ben Short to take victory. Oh, a little squirm there out of the hairpin.
Yeah, so Ben Short comes through, takes the checker flag to win round 1 off the Massimo Tyres MX5 Cup. And he does so by 2.6 seconds in the end in car 71 from number 1 Jordan Johnson, last year's champion, number 9 Ian Tomlinson in 3rd, but there's still a battle to be settled here for 5th position. It's the 25 car of David Williams that's got himself ahead of Michael Pearce on this last lap, but it's going to be Matt Hallam, who I think is just going to hold on. Yes, he is, to 5th place from David Williams, but only about a quarter of a second between them. Michael Pearce 7th in the end. Matt Pennefather-Neal 8th, Jake Mickle right 9th, and Stephen Craggs did get back into the top 10 after that rather wide moment at Tower. Samuel Gorman losing a couple of positions in the last half lap, lost out to Matthew Short as well, Short 11th, and Samuel Gorman was 12th, Shay Pearce 13th, and Adrian Johnson. James Winstanley completing the race in 15th position, but besides Ben Short just driving away from everyone, it was rather entertaining, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, that move from Jordan Johnson for 2nd position was pretty outstanding, and definitely, as you say there, I think it's a contender for the aim shot moment of the season at the end of the year. But yeah, good battles all round, particularly that 5th, 6th, 7th battle as well. Try and work out, I mean, there was only 86 thousandths of a second separating the 32 of Micklewright and the 21 of Pennefather-Neal at the end of the race there. But here are the results.
Yeah, so confirmation that number 71 Ben Short took the win at the end of 9 laps by 2.642 seconds from number 1 Jordan Johnson. Ian Tomlinson, number 9, was 3rd ahead of Oak Richardson, number 17, Matthew Hallam, number 44, and David Williams, number 25. Then it was Michael Pearce, Matt Pennefather-Neal, Jake Micklewright and Stephen Craggs running out the top 10. Matt Short was 11th ahead of Samuel Gorman, Shay Pearce and Adrian Johnson. And then further back down the order, we had in 15th place a good drive from the back of the grid from James Winstanley, Nico Fafo 16th, and Andy Bailey in the Mentalloys car. Mary Barnard getting family bragging rights there because she finished 18th ahead of her father. Martin Vernon, Andrew Robinson, Stephen Robinson 20th and 21st, then Paul Barnard, Neil Burrows, Steve Quemby, Stuart Dowson and Philip Barrett rounding out the field, and I think they all did complete the full race distance as well. No one was lapped during the course of that race. So we see the MX5s out again today and also tomorrow, so 2 more races during the course of the weekend for them. But we're heading down to Yusuf bin Sahel in the pit lane to hear from Ben Short.
Somebody was. Only on the last third of the lap they were.
We good? All right, so I am here with our race winner, Ben Short. Ben, bit of a glorified practice session for you in the end, wasn't it?
Well, yes, no. Qualifying seemed to go quite well. But halfway through that race, I started to lose the tyre a little bit, and I could see them catching up. And then it sort of came back towards the end. So, but yeah, it was a little bit lonely, and Jordan and Ian there ended up in a bit of a battle, which I think built the gap, and then just got my head down.
I did notice there was one lap where you dropped a couple of seconds. Was it a back mark or a little mistake somewhere out on circuit?
So the last third of the circuit, coming into the complex, there's a fluid down on the racing line, and I didn't see it as I turned in, so I had a little bit of a moment there. But, you know, nothing major, and it seemed to dry up towards the end of the race, so it's probably just a bit of coolant or something.
Well, a good start to the championship, race win. Best of luck for the next one.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, looking forward to it. Be a bit cooler this evening, so the engines hopefully will be going a bit better, and look forward to Jordan and Ian coming to have a fight.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks.
Right, we'll move on to our second place finisher, a reigning champion as well. Notes go flying. Jordan, you had a really good battle there, didn't you? Heading, I think it was in the Jim Clark S's, you got the move done?
Yeah, it's pretty ballsy to go side by side around there, and I've been racing with him for a while now, so I knew that he wouldn't do anything silly, and I think he knew I wasn't going to do anything silly. But yeah, not the ideal place to get it done around here, but yeah, it worked for me, so we'll take it.
One to add to the collection, you've got to go around and say, yeah, I've overtaken them here, here, and here.
Yeah, I've done it once before with Ben Hansey, and yeah, it wasn't my best idea then, and we've done it again now, so guess I'll never learn.
What's the plan for the next race?
Try and keep up with Mr. Short at the front. If me, Oak and Ian can get our heads together and do a bit of teamwork, then hopefully we can get on his back bumper and make it a 4-horse race instead of 3.
Well, fantastic second place, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Right, we'll move on to our third place finisher, Ian Tomlinson. Ian, you put on some really good defensive moves out there, but in the end, he just about got through.
Yeah, he did, yeah. I knew when he'd sort of got alongside me at, I don't know what they call all the fast bits around the back, and yeah, I thought it was a done deal, like he was coming through, but yeah, did what I could, but yeah, not enough. So.
What's the plan for race 2? Is it, you know, try to get back in front, or is it work together and try to catch up to Ben?
Well, we'll just see what happens at the start, but I think really we probably have to work together, either Jordan or Oak, and see if we can sort of team up on Ben and yeah, do it that way probably, because he's bad to catch. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw in your mirrors, but Oak behind you was very sideways trying to get through. So I don't know if that just put a bit of extra pressure on.
Yeah, well, he had a bit of a sideways moment on the last bend, and he gave me a bit of room, really. I had a couple of car lengths, and I thought, you know, time to get your head down. And, yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe he's having trouble with the tyres or something, but yeah, it's good for me.
Well, good job on third, and we'll see you in the next race.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
We're going to head into a quick ad break because we've got our third race of the day coming up soon.